Today on the bench have my, it's kind of mine. My son claimed it, but then he replaced it with a Thorns turntable, so it was mine. I gave it to him, and now I think it came back to me. This was this was a family member's. So what I have been looking for a while is a better piece of metal here with stenciling that's intact. And I was finally able to find one after searching for quite a while on eBay. One popped up and I snatched it. And I'm going to be replacing that one with this one. Right? You can see the stenciling here. Probably someone tried to clean it with Windex or something. Stenciling came off. And it came off down here. This is all intact. So have no idea what I'm in for on this. I'm hoping that I don't have to remove the tone arm. I'll probably have to remove the tone arm stand, and I may have to unscrew the tone arm from here. I may have to remove this counterweight. Make this as skinny as I can make it here. Just gonna pop, whoops. Well, this kind of, oh, there it goes. I was gonna say, it's gonna be boring watching me try to figure this out. So let me move this out of the way. I will clean the pots on this. This is a direct drive, and this was the first thing I ever repaired. Sent it to a shop. They charged me way too much money. Didn't fix it. Kind of torqued me off. I re-veneered it. This is the first thing I re-veneered, first thing I repaired. So this kind of started me on my vintage stereo gear repair kit, I guess. Collecting and enjoying and rehabbing and all that good stuff. So I'm going to take the bottom off of this, see what we're in for in terms of removing that piece of metal. Again, my hope is that it doesn't need to be completely disassembled. This is like one of the worst bottom covers in terms of getting these screws back in there. And this is shared by several different models. You also have to remove this little grounding. There's a grounding screw here that needs to come off. I've had turntables like this apart, I don't know. I mean, it seems like 100 times. Probably not, but at least several dozen times. That's all right. I don't want you to jump off there. You just stay there all day. There you go. And I heard something fall. Back there, I have to account for that. I may not even have to... not sure what fell. Probably a washer. I think the washer fell off. Well, I'll worry about that when I'm putting this back together. So I think 2 screws here. Screw 1. And screw number 2. Oh, and then there's one in the middle, it looks like. There are the speed control pots I'm going to clean. Yeah, that piece of metal just dropped. So that's good. Tricky part will be finagling it around the... oh. There it is. It was the nut. That fell off. All right. So, let's see how difficult this is going to be. Looks like it might be a little bit difficult. Dang, I was hoping to luck out a little bit here. But that's just a little bit too big. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to flip this over, look at the bottom, and figure out how I can get to that. All right, I think I'm pretty close. Had to remove a couple screws from underneath of it. It is, I didn't have to detach, well, so far I have not had to detach the tone-arm wires. I could remove that, but I think I may. Dang, so close. So close. Just like one, it's like a puzzle. It's like one of those Cracker Barrel puzzles. Like the rings and stuff. I think I'm going to have to just bite the bullet and remove detach the tone arm wires. I think I'm going to have to do that. I don't know what this is from. A couple of pieces of something. Well, so I'm going to pull the tone arm off. I'm going to diagram, make sure I get these wires in the right spot. Pull that out of there and then just tack them back into place. So we got blue, white, red, green. All right, so I'm going to do this and we'll see where that gets us. Oh, dang, I forgot about the ground wire. Crap. These so far have come out pretty easy. Okay, I don't want it to just drop, so catch that. There we go. Lots of adjustments will have to be done after I put that back on. There we go. Out with the old, in with the new. If I can find where I put it. Oh, it looks like those are the pieces of plastic that came out, but I wonder why. I mean, there was no... Oh, that's where that screw went in there. I'm going to have to see about fixing that before I go too far. I wonder why that broke. I bet it was cracked before. Yeah, there's another piece that's missing out of there, maybe. Weird. Well, this isn't too exciting or entertaining, so let me. Oh, yeah, there's a piece of metal that goes in there as well. Oh, I bet it was. I bet I had to remove that one. Oh, and that makes sense. I was spinning this one, and it was just turning. It wasn't loosening up. So I'm thinking that little barrel in there is... Oh, man. I don't think I can get to it. I bet it's stuck. I don't know if I can see it from the top or not. I bet we'll see... I bet we will see that... Yep, there it is right there. So that is what the problem was. When I put this back in there, I'm not going to go crazy with tightening it back down because I'm probably going to have to use super glue and kind of like glue the metal pieces to the plastic pieces and just kind of get it in there. And I have epoxy. I've used epoxy on stuff like this, and it doesn't always. I don't know. Epoxy's just not always. It doesn't always want to work. So get this all slathered up. Pop that in there like so. And then put some super glue on the metal. And there goes my phone. And I believe this piece goes here. This piece goes here. I want you to see my head. Okay. And that's the super glue with the plastic and the metal. That should hold it, and that should. I'll give it a couple minutes to kind of cure. And we'll put it back into position. So. Oh, let me clean these pots. That'll give me something to do while I'm letting that dry. All right. Well, you don't need me to see. You don't need to see me clean speed control pots because I've done it a ton of times. So let's. I'll click away and come back when I've got those clean and I'm starting to put it back together. Well, that went back together pretty easily. The tone arm stand, since I'm going directly through plastic to metal, that's where I really cinched it down pretty good. So I'm not at all concerned. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not overly concerned about these other two screws and getting them super tight. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong one. It's this one. All right. So next up is to resolder all these wires, the tone arm wires, get them in the right spot. And then just get it put back together. So I'm gonna kind of fly through that stuff. You don't need to see me soldering and all that stuff. So let's kind of show you the after when I'm done here in a couple of minutes. All right, I got to find a cartridge and put on here and make sure when I reattach the tone arm wires that I didn't goof anything up and wind up with some kind of hum. So I'm going to test the speed on this. That's in the off position. I need to adjust that a little bit. But I'll do that once I get the tone arm or the cartridge on. So I'm going to turn this on and see about the speed. It's on, oh, I'm going to do 45 first, doesn't matter. 45, and the speed is very steady at 45. 33. Speed is, come on. Speed is very steady at 33. Cool. All right, I'm going to blind you for a second. There we go. All right, so what cartridge do I put on here? I need to see if I have one. I may have to order one, but I'm going to put this in the rotation. This is a nice turntable. So replace the metalwork here. So the stencils are all intact. Well, and the replacement piece. The dust cover is very, very, very clean. It has minor scratches, but I'm really not concerned with that. This was when I was selling, I might polish it, but I'm okay with gently used and well-loved pieces of equipment here. So. So again, the cover's not horrible. Not great, but not horrible. I may polish it one day. Whoops. Lots of static. Starting to get dry in this neck of the woods, or my neck of the woods. Alright, so I'm going to call this one good. Just replace that piece of metal. And if anything pops up as a result of what I did, other than maybe a tone arm wire was not completely fastened or something like that, I will bring this back out. But dogs are barking and I gotta go, so I'll see you in the next video.